I just think he's a great Bond. It's a great film. But having a big blockbuster, a trivial man, one-trick pony, a showman who has got nothing left to show, next morning they come out with something that might feel like a bit of a show to those... Because my impression was he was sort of talking to the party, really.
Well, I think...
Rather than talking...
Well, I think he was talking to
Sorry,
both.
I know my questions are long, but I'm going to get to it. Just bear with me 1 second. Because he was standing there in the middle of a crisis, an energy crisis of energy phones going bust, people queuing at petrol pumps, a health crisis, and all that we've already talked about. And it felt weirdly like the one time when if he did take a more Corbynistic approach and say, let's renationalise all the energy companies, people at home would have so frustrated and angry that he went very moderate and sort of didn't mention any of those things, mentioned, you know, more nurses and people could have access. But there's a massive crisis. He didn't talk to anybody on waiting lists. He didn't talk to anybody. There's a really visceral, so to touch things that were on their mind.
He's never going to.
You may as well be.
But hang on, he campaigned
the
for
party,
that,
the party, first was the...
Obviously, he do, because he certainly didn't silence the critics within the Labour Party.
Going back to those days.
He did say...
Presence for as long as possible.
Well, there's always been a...
That came out as part of the sentencing, that there were witnesses and CCTV footage, it appears, of her being arrested by cousins.
Hi there, good morning. It's just gone 6:30. Welcome to the programme.
Welcome to you Bond Premier.
Yes. There are a few, select few that were invited. Richard over there in the corner was one of them, of course. It was, I was sort of bowled over the whole thing. Well, Richard, I thought your piece was...
More Bond than Bond.
Well, I was ahead, as in I was further up the...
Kind of thing that you rejoice in, don't you?
I'm never really concerned about sort of my height when you know that you're taller than Daniel Craig. You think, well, if Bond can be the same height as me...
There you go.
And to be fair, Ben...
Sorry, Richard, I didn't mean brought up as a Sean Connery Bond.
So everyone has,
older,
everyone has.
But I've got to say, sorry, Mum, I do think Daniel Craig.
Audience as well. It was sizzling with anticipation.
I mean, I'll be going to a normal cinema. I didn't get an invite to the
No,
premiere, but I'm really
invited.
excited because I lost her back. We're still waiting for the new Top Gun.
Yes.
Everything else has been put back to have it there. I think that's part of the excitement.
That's a really good point, Kate, actually, because
who your favourite Bond is, and you know, and whether you're excited about seeing this, the last Daniel Craig Bond movie. Get those thoughts in, because we're going to be talking about that a bit later in the show. We mentioned, didn't we, as we introduced our bit of the programme, we asked you the question, the furlough scheme winds down today. What does this mean? We've actually had some breaking news this morning, some notification from the government. There is a setting up of a new fund. It's going to be the new Household Support Fund. £500 million of support is being available to what they describe those most in need as we enter the final stages of the recovery. Now, this money is going to be available to councils from October, so from today, you would hope. And it bolsters support that they claim is already in place. I'm assuming there is no surprise that this comes on the day that we say goodbye to universal credit, although I know the impact of the papers this morning. Not all of them, though, and I don't expect you'll mind, because Sarah Everard is everywhere, and the absolutely heartbreaking. There does seem to be a huge problem.
Aisha, Quentin, thank you for joining us. Good morning, Britain. United League.
You're watching Good Morning Britain. It's competition time now. Now, you could win a prize worth up to £85,000. Who's got the details, Ben?
Only one man has the details. It's like a little bit of a grey day outside of Andy's window there. Let's see what the rest of the weather's looking like. Laura's at Osterley Park this morning. Good morning, Britain. It's 7:04.
A serving police officer who kidnapped, raped and strangled Sarah Everard is due to be sentenced today at the Old Bailey. Wayne Couzens used COVID lockdown powers to force the arrest and then abduct the 33-year-old.
Our chief correspondent, Richard Gase.
Celebration at 8:30.
There's a lot of love for Sean Connery.
There's a lot of love.
Yeah, a lot of love for Sean Connery, as you can imagine. Type 2, slim, they're all saying that. But Lindsay, Rachel, Tom Warren, Bob, Sean, Billy, Carol and Timo all say Timothy Dalton.
I think Timothy Dalton was underrated.
Yeah, didn't get many options.
I was named after Sean Connery, I believe.
Let us know. We're going to be debating it a little bit later on. And we might be running a poll on our website
Are we?
as
Let's
well.
have a look. Now, still to come, as we've just been discussing, a spotlight continues to shine on violence against women and girls for very